Now, John Dramani Mahama has tonight declared the 2024 elections will be do or die. The man who led the largest opposition party, the NDC, in the last election has been touring the Bono East region to thank voters. Speaking at a local radio station, Akina FM in Techiman, he was emphatic the 2024 elections were rigged. He says the NDC will not allow that to happen in the next election. He says that the party will focus on polling stations and collation centers, taking its own fate into its hands, so the final verdict is not left in the hands of the Supreme Court as it happened in 2020.
And so under this current precedent, why elections like life and death for him. And much of or the Delta forces, invisible forces, main security service. Because tell the police near Nassau Genia, no one can say, we empower your police near or share earring, poor body say, now share no ma, you can't tell whether it is really a police officer or a soldier. But in himself, or more infiltrated security services with some of their people. And when you see what Techiman na video no you'll be a video nibi. The way Mototo a tono into the crowd, it was intended to kill people. We should drag the and say now or koto emi so to at that level about Miss Nipa Bewu. And that's a Nipa Be pre. And the idea what me say what is their intention. Because we share seats nibi and your course na and you're there to assume. Na you hope say the next election bebano. We won't see scenes like that again.
And so the former president, John Dramani Mahama, was saying that the 2020 elections was rigged and not 2024, as mentioned earlier. The translation says, and you heard that interview was in Tree, we have printed ballot papers in Ghana so many times. In the past, when we print the ballot papers, you can count for each of them. You can account for each of them. But for this one, after the printing, someone chanced on millions of ballot papers that have also been printed. So we asked, how come we have all these ballot papers when we have completed the processes of printing and selling off the papers? We were told it was a mistake, and so we should burn them. But already we knew some of these papers had entered the system and did not see only polling station day. The people were arrested with duplicate ballot papers. For everyone we arrested, there were 100 more we did not arrest, and this is still John Mahama speaking. And so he has been speaking in the Techiman, that's the Bono region, as part of his tour of the thanking Ghanaians for the 2020 elections. Let's do some more analysis on this. We are joined by Dr. Amachi Boateng, a political science lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Dr. Boateng, what is your initial reaction to the comment of the former president?
Let me say good evening to your viewers and listeners, and thanks also for the opportunity. Actually, the first thing comes to me as obvious, that the elections shall be won at the polling stations. That is exactly what is supposed to be the case. And so he's reiterating that, meaning that if previously there have been any infractions that had not allowed such development to occur, that going forward, that everybody is going to be vigilant, so that is exactly what Ghanaians get. Elections are necessarily won at the polling stations and nowhere else. And like Dr. Ferijan used to say, that the name of the game is vigilance. Anyone competing in democratic elections, if given the chance, will definitely take advantage of the system. So vigilance is key, and if you come from all actors. So I think that particular statement to me is quite fair. The rules must work. He pointed to the fact that the right things should be done, and I think that is what really ought to be the situations. The rules ought to be applied as appropriately as possible, and then the right thing must be done, and the person who wins should come out clearly. That's exactly what Ghanaians should be going in for. The other statements to me are also critical. Security at the election grounds, and also this whole critical issue of potentially co-opting political party faithfuls, not taking them through the right training regime because everybody is a Ghanaian.
Hello, Dr. Boatin. Well, we seem to have lost connection to Dr. Amachi Boatin, a political science lecturer at the University, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He's back on the line. Doc, you were commenting on the second aspect of John Mahama's comment about the security of the election.
Yeah, it's an issue that it came up during, following the crisis at the Ayawaso West Wongon by-elections, and then the committee that was set up to examine the issue. I think that was one of the things they touched on. It borders on security of this nation generally. The political parties definitely will be tempted to recruit people that they think are going to be faithful to them, to play various roles in the security institutions. But then, if they don't take them through the necessary training so that at the end of the day they become professionals and serve Ghana rather than the interests of political parties, it is the whole nation's security that is, becoming jeopardized. And this issue, one would want to say that it's a real thing that is happening. The temptation is there. There are job opportunities all over in Ghana.
Okay.
But then, the critical thing is that these people should be trained properly.
But Dr. Boatin, the context of what he said is this. He says the elections will be a do or die because under this president, he has made elections too. And the do or die specifically at the polling station. When the former president makes such a comment, what signals does it send to to people who are watching and listening? He has a large following. He's a leader of the opposition party. As a political watcher yourself, does this send wrong or bad signals?
Really, you see, Ghana is used to this whole phenomenon of the political parties taking elections as a zero sum. So this whole idea of do or die has been with us all the time. The political parties go to all lengths, even in their primaries, and generally by their posture and some of the techniques they deploy, you realize that they are even prepared to kill, to win political power. It doesn't really send, any good omen to, Ghanaians, to the polity generally. But then this is not the first time we're coming across some such statement. It's not desirable. I think we all want to make sure that the laws guiding elections really are those that should be made to work. So the idea of do and die in a way is not desirable. Elections should not necessarily be like that. Democracy is not all about elections. It's about governance to deliver development. Yes.
Thank you very much. That's Dr. Amachi Boatin, a political science lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.